Here we are, guys, for the rant on Monday. Don't know whether to talk loud or softly. We've had some mic problems. You'd expect more than for a $49 sound system from Audi, but anyway, here we are, guys. What a beautiful day.
I was looking for that one, Glenn. I couldn't find that one. The Aldi setup.
$11 used to hire the mic, hire the video thing every
week.
And now everything's so cheap, isn't
He
it?
hired the camera for $60 a week for 7 years or some fucking thing.
Anyway, I
Went and bought one up 200. That was funny.
I think our first shout out is to the Lismore Turf Club, who are actually looking after us to the degree that they're floating us up there, Glenn.
How floating us up there? So we'll be at Lismore on the day of the Cup.
21st of September, which is a full 7 days before the Hurricane that's going to be committed in RacingRant Park.
Yeah, exactly. I might go for the bang. Oh, hello. Looking forward to going to Lismore now. I'm so excited. I kind of hate the idea. Yeah,
I love it.
You just like going out.
I was going to hire a plane and organise a tour, but I didn't realise they were looking us after us that well.
Expressions of interest for anyone that wants to accompany us, because honestly, you know, we'd love any of our viewers to come up.
We can't get you for free, that's all, but we're going for free. Well, we're going. We're being well looked after.
Yeah, so apparently it's a showcase day this year as well at Lismore. So they've got the 30,000 and the...
Did you have a laugh when you saw the RacingRant handicap on Saturday, Ross?
Oh, I did.
I pissed myself.
It was very interesting doing the form on the race, that's for sure. It was,
well, it was a $10,000 tab meeting, so it was the lowest of low.
Anyway,
I thought the favourite was given no chance.
We're not talking about favourites at Lismore on race 6, are we, on a Saturday?
Hey, it is our race.
Glenn, you found a fertile vein of form on Saturday.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, I thought this might have been the first. I thought Suncrose was a mile, I must admit. I thought it was 3 opes in the last. They ran A, B, C, and I really liked Boss Lane. It was the roughie in that race. I sort of said I'm all right. I did think Bolero King was a good thing, but the same old thing, guys. The shoe comes off. Do you want to be on horses when the shoe comes off?
No. Well, what went on after that? So, firstly, the shoe comes off. It goes 280 to 320 straight away on the fair. Like the minute they started working on it, it went 280, 320.
And Kingsley in the ring, which was 260 to 240, and probably low balling at the 240. Then all of a sudden, 240 to $2.
Yeah.
There's got to be something done about this. They've got to be scratching these horses. You can't just put a new shoe on with old mate over there, working under the pressure of TAB times, not doing the job. Well, we don't know how he's doing the job.
But is that what went wrong?
I don't know, but I had plenty of money and I wanted my money back. I wanted it to be scratched.
But it raced really flatly, didn't it?
It's not a shoe put on.
We don't know whether that was it.
We don't know if it wasn't.
We don't know if it wasn't either yet.
Right. The marketplace wanted to be on one horse, Bolero King. Kings of Leon was going this way, and then the shoe came off. I don't know, it doesn't seem right to me. It's 260.
Our viewers will say we're sour grapes because we all declared for it.
Are we sour grapes, or are we just saying something's changed in the dynamicness of this horse and we want our money?
I'll tell you the way Mark and I handled it, Glenn, is that we end up having even more on Bolero King because it got to a better price. Okay. So admitting that the shoe coming off isn't a good thing, but I'm taking $3.30 instead of $2.70. You know, like it's.
Is that a good play on your behalf?
Well, it wasn't on this occasion, but I tend to keep on betting when they blow.
I'm yet to see evidence of a reshoeing being a disaster.
Can we put it through?
Look, anyone that's got any idea about...
No, our man. Do you put the stats in? Do they have shoes off? I suppose they don't.
You wouldn't have that information.
No, you can't have it.
Horses replated before the start.
Horses replated before the start.
I do have to say, $33 for Glenn stuff. He made me multiple thousands on the weekend.
Oh, beautiful.
So $33.
I've been seeing
you know, sometimes you agree, sometimes you disagree, sometimes you ignore, sometimes you don't, but
I've always said
some great information.
Use my stuff with your own work, otherwise you got no hope. You've got to use my stuff with your own work.
Like, since you told me Draco wasn't fit, I still wanted to back the horse, but I ended up taking $7 instead of $4.
The marketplace, there are other very smart people watching the parade now, and they're getting better and better and better, and I said in the marketplace, Dracarius is out at $4.20, $4.60 on the fair, and you looked at it, you just, like, I know they got beaten this far, but it was always going to go north as far as its price. It got to $7.40 on the fair. It's nice to hit 1,000 out of it at $4.60 and have 600 back at $7.
Yeah.
So, where to for Dracarius?
Very good horse, Mark.
I should mention that the 1200 metre races on the day ran the most shithouse of times that I've ever seen, and I don't understand it.
11.92 in the first.
And then Argent Door ran 11.96, and then
Great to see the gun get
up. Kings of Leon ran 12.28 on a good track.
But it wasn't a good track.
How's he on 12.28? Like, fair dinkum, that's a maiden's time at Wyong.
So, for some reason, the 1100s weren't as bad. The best times on the day were Sound Proposition and Pelothronius, who both made use of the back straight.
Yep.
I'm wondering if there was some
Funny
sort of...
funny how it sounds, what's his name?
Sound Proposition.
It got in like that. It was posted, and all of a sudden it's one out one bang.
So, the horse that led him in was Abrosun and Atkins.
I saw young Andrew let him in like that. I don't know why he didn't hold his position and keep him 3D.
Well, interestingly, it was 550 to 350 in the last 5 minutes of betting. 550 to 350.
So does that give you a green light to get a perfect run?
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Anyway, back to the 2-year-olds. So they've run no figures, but they've comparable to the other 1200s. They're fine. Dracary's returned with plenty to offer.
Yep.
What about his stablemate, who you were quite keen on from the parade? Where does he go? Assimilate.
He's just a real racy horse, and he's a real stylish animal. I think he wins next up.
Gresham made ground from the back, but they did go out fairly quickly, commanding when to set up.
Is he missing in action, Waller? Back to missing in action? Well, we have to keep an eye on these stables. Like, for example, we've got Paul Perry's put down Salerno,
and
Last Witness, and one other one there, Petrosian. They've just, the whole stable, every horse runs through his skin. Waller's horses, like missing in action. Just following stables in these, for whatever reasons, on these graphs.
Massive.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. And it's about spotting it before the market spots it.
So, generally, last bit of July, early August, Waller is going to be...
Well, where's he go? What do they do different?
Well, isn't there some sort of changeover in the stable?
Is there?
I presume that these horses are, like, they've reached the end of their campaign. They might have 1 or 2 runs left, but then they're making way for the fresh blood. And
I've got an idea. I'm not sure that when Winx is in the stable,
well, she's been in the stable.
The others sort of underperform.
Right.
So the Queen turns up and all the little Pied Pipers.
I mean, I could be overthinking that, but I think I noticed that last time. Remember, he was going no good. When Winx was running around, she was the only one winning for him. Yeah.
Can't be right. You can't just train one horse when you've got 100 horses, can you? She'd train herself, wouldn't she?
I guess so. So Gresham, you're saying okay, but
Waller.
Stable?
Yeah, well, I'm saying Assimilate doesn't necessarily win next start because it could be running against Dracarys.
It could be. It's still
third up.
I'll back Assimilate to beat it.
That's an interesting point.
Because I keep telling you about these horses that aren't ready, putting in great runs. It doesn't help them going forward. Spending the Wind's a perfect example. I know they got beaten that far, but it was odds on it got beaten.
It was second up.
Yeah, but that was sort of weird, wasn't it?
Was it?
Well, why did Argent Dior pull up so quickly and Spending the Wind was so far in front of it 100 metres past the post? It was just... it's just like inch perfect by Avdallah to get that horse to win.
Gord's suggesting that Spending to Win wasn't allowed to run sufficiently and it had a lot more to offer. That Huey rode it poorly.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I'm just getting a little bit sick of when you go to Randwick, jockeys just been obsessed with nursing until the top of the rise.
Yeah.
I like jockeys to...
Okay, but in race 1 we
take races by the scruff of the neck.
Didn't nurse to the top of the rise. Hieronymus on commanding witness, heavily backed.
Yeah, that's just a shit horse.
So, but punters, what are they thinking about that?
Well, again, it touted the leader. They paraded well, but you've got to dismiss Hawkesbury form, especially Hawkesbury positive form.
Right, yeah, this horse didn't have any form, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, and ran up to form.
And Colossimo, then, she turned up as the favourite on Friday. She was $7 on Saturday. What has she got to offer, apart from the fact that she's got a question mark over the stable?
Apart from that, she's a nice horse with heaps and heaps of improvement going forward. I want to keep a close eye on her.
The country race, Suncraze finally found a race shape to help him.
Yeah.
And looks just a little bit more professional as well with the blinkers on.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those classic situations where you've got a horse with a turn of foot, but he's in an unsuitable race, then he gets bloused by a decent horse, and then he finds another unsuitable race, and then finally finds a suitable race and looks the part. But I mean, he's clearly, it was a PR on Saturday, wasn't
He was a PR. We got Salesman down in Barrier 1. You got On the Fiddlers, a nice horse going forward, but had it's got improvement. You had Bad Glen on last tries, wins out the back and getting going late, and there's really nothing there left. I mean, Nix Vendetta is obviously PR at Warwick Farm, and little Michaela Weir couldn't get the tempo right twice. I will say one thing about the race, and I did have a good result in the race, but the amount of races I lose on when this bloody caller calls a different horse the wrong name, it just shits me.
He was calling it Sticky Beak instead of DeBeak, and then the very next
How
race...
do you call it fucking Sticky Beak?
And then the very next race, he's calling Magic Alibi Magic Ali.
This, and then followed up lately by Kings of Leo.
Kings of Leo, right?
It's a fucking beauty. Like, we've got a professional game. Every person involved in the game is so politically correct because they just stamp everyone to be just so perfect. And we've got this caller that, can't get names right, can't get racing positions right. It's just torture. Here's Sticky Beak, Sticky Beak. I'm going, who's Sticky Beak? I'm doing my head in the run, so I couldn't work out who it was.
I feel like Shane used to spot the horse that was a chance at the 300-400 metre mark, and this guy's not spotting those horses. So
I mean, they've obviously got him for half the money they're paying Shane, but that's why we got the swap. I'll give you another great example. You either love him or loathe him, right? Love him or loathe him. And I would say more people loathe him than love him. But can Racing New South Wales or Sky Channel, can you, all's forgiven, time's moved on, can we get Richard Callender back?
yes.
How much do we miss him?
on Wednesday.
Okay, but Snowy would be very cranky with him.
Well, bad luck for Snowy.
So Snowy was the one that flagged the stewards when Richie was coming back too soon.
Yeah, but it's been enough time. Nathan's got a personal. He should ring Richard.
Right,
but we can't put up with this dribble all the time. Now, I've never been a big Richard fan. At the time, I thought, oh, God, he's annoying, or this and that.
Punish.
But he's a knowledgeable racing bloke who knows how to have a bet. He knows how to call situations. When he hugs Waller and all that sort of stuff, it gets us offside. But how much do we miss him? Like, what we've got now is just awful. I mean, there's no knowledge.
Absolutely awful.
You can't.
But we used to complain about TVN. Look at their coverage compared to this Sky premium channel now. It's just rubbish. And look at the people they put on to try and give the viewers tips.
It's unwatchable.
But it's happening everywhere, isn't it? It's a rugby league. I know that the girls are in rugby league as well.
But to our demise, this is what I'm saying, is they think it looks all pretty in the package, but when you take away the ribbon and a little bit of Christmas paper, there's no present there. And we're going to lose our business, our whole game. We need that little bit of...
Aren't they saying that the people that are watching this, they don't care in that regard?
Then if they don't care, they're going to... Has turnover just gone down and down and down?
Yeah.
Have we lost participation?
Yeah.
Because we had the dribble.
It's more than that, but...
But it's part of the pie.
All right, so who are we getting Richie on to replace? Like, what, Richard Haynes?
Just get Richie on the... They can do other means or work with him, but at least when there's someone goes too fast, Richie made the big comment, well, I don't know what he was doing, going 5 lengths over, blah, 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 blah. The steward should... It's something.
Yeah.
It's something. But that,
Point of interest.
It is a point of interest. Racing New South Wales, don't mention there's something wrong with the race. We don't want the stewards involved. And, Richard's Richard. But it's a knowledgeable racing bloke who, in between doing what he does, comes in the ring and has 600 on something.
Yep.
Imagine him double up with Mark Sheen, talking about the form, bouncing off each other. Yeah. Or two people. Like, we miss him so much now. I can't believe I'm saying it.
I can't believe I'm agreeing with you.
But we really fucking need him back. We need him back as part of our industry because he's got 20 to 30 years to offer.
Yeah.
He's still not an old bloke. He'd be in his early 40s, I suppose. So, and he does do plenty of things away from racing. Yeah, there was a muck up with something with Waller with owners. Okay, it didn't look real good. Probably wasn't as bad as everyone thinks. It happens all the time with trading of horses.
I don't think it's helpful saying that.
But
it happens all the time. Let's just say, Richie, make your apologies. We want you back.
fuck making an apology. Just they should be
Richie there.
No, fuck that. They should be apology to Richard.
It's like you've got a shit show. Get somebody decent on.
Yeah, I understand. You just got to placate the people that are very unhappy about what happened.
Yeah.
So you're saying Richie's got to go to the panel. He's got to say, "I've found Jesus Christ. I'm a new man."
No, don't say that. Just Racing New South Wales, the Sky, all of you. Look, you've all come out of the Graham McNeice school of everyone's like prim and proper and
Such a good bloke. We're all great mates.
it's all going to be good. It's good. It's going to ruin our game.
Yeah,
We're going to get
there's
Richie
no
in there
colour. There's no
making.
colour.
He'll make 95 comments which are really interesting, and 5 will get you offside or or pull your head in ridge. But at least it's something.
What's the animosity between Snowy and Richard anyway? Did they have a tweet war or something? Did they?
No, Richie said something on TV about something to do with insinuating he would sue Snowy over some Twitter commentary. I think it was something like that.
Okay.
And he did mention that bloke will want to be careful. He's got kids to feed. He said something,
and
Yeah,
he didn't get fined for it.
It was Richie's ego. That's the Richie we all probably loathe.
Yeah.
But so he's gone now. He's gone. Oh, beauty. Who cares about him? And now 2 years later,
We want you back, baby.
come back.
And by the way, Snowy is at the Snow. I've just seen a photo on Twitter.
Yeah, Snowy would want him back. If Snowy was on course, he'd want him back.
Bryce the Boy writes, how can Mark possibly suggest Mark Sheen is a better race caller than John Tapp? Complete and utter drivel. Shame on you.
Well, good on you, Bryce. Boy, what it is it's called an opinion. I tend to agree with Mark Lamborn. What's so like about Johnny Tapp? He used to tip you the first jockey that walked into the car park.
No, that was Ian Craig.
Oh, was it?
Yes, you're confusing. Johnny Tapp was a great caller. I do, when I listen to his calls, as you do if you ever listen to an old race, I think it's very, well, it was of the time, I think. And Sheen was of his time. I don't think it's obvious that Jay Tapp was a better caller than M. Sheen if you're of that persuasion. So we've pretty much spoken about the country race, although you did say Glenn Salesman drew gate 1. Either side of him, Assimilate drew gate 1 and Memes drew gate 1. What are you saying about gate 1 on the day?
A good horse who goes back and comes around, like Assimilate,
Small field as well.
small field, and Mem's just got so much control up front. Clipper was OSL there, and the tempo of that race was just they.
All right. So
Mems is flying.
looking at that race beforehand, race 3, how was it ever going to be any different? Memes was going to be there, and Clipper could have tried to take the lead away from Memes, I suppose, but that was the only possibility.
Yes, you're right. In hindsight,
I think it's a massive missed opportunity. That's the one horse that I didn't back and I should have. I definitely missed it.
Yeah, I got into my head that it's got barrier 1 that's going to get run over today. 5 that's going to get run over today. They can't keep winning. They're all thoughts that aren't positive. They're not. If you got 1 next to your name, it's good form. You try to trick yourself, think, it's going to get beaten.
You're trying to be too smart.
I know.
Just look to the obvious.
It's like at the casino. If there's 10 blacks in a row, the next black is even money.
Yeah, exactly.
Less 2.8%. It's not like it has to be a red.
Yeah.
That's just all mental shit.
She was the first example of the Randwick form of 4 weeks ago standing up, because she'd won at Randwick 4 weeks ago. She then went to Rose Hill. We then came out, I'll just go back on that mare's race, Glenn. How did these B. Baker horses return? Positive Problems, who really didn't...
I thought they underachieved on Saturday. Came back pretty close to, obviously it's first up, nowhere near perfect racing here, but in good order. I thought it underachieved.
And the other was Human Nassac.
Came back.
It's only in the second
It's
preparation.
a very, very nice horse. I think it's a horse to follow, guys.
So then the Randwick form continued with, and I stupidly overlooked this point, in relation to the 1,000 metre race, we had Super 2, Star-Crossed, and Could Have Been, all coming off last start Canterbury 1100s. And that should have been flagged and assisted the actual 1,000 metre lead up.
You couldn't believe how poorly Star-Crossed looked compared to how it did last day, and you couldn't get over. Like Could Have Been. They were naught on the rule. Well, suffice to say, that's why I set out Super 2 a good thing. But after the race, you do talk to yourself that you looked at $41 Salerno and didn't have something on it.
Right, but let's focus on Super
Last
2.
up,
Super 2. Gord thought Super 2 was a good thing.
Yep.
The Mounting Yard was very keen on Super 2.
More so because the second and third favourites look like they have none.
So
And the market was super keen too.
where are we going with it? What are we saying about its run? Like,
as nice a bloke and as good a trainer he is as Mark Connors, he's not an even money trainer.
Yeah, but,
No, that's it for me.
carried
I was
away.
only interested in Super 2 fresh, and it flopped. That's it. Life.
Yeah, but I'm just dissecting the analysis that led.
I might be talking a little bit through my pocket there.
Look, Super 2 won at Gosford, it won at Wild. Then it ran twice at Flemington, that's away, pin job stuff, and came back at Canterbury. I said on Friday, where was its credentials?
Well, you're right. No, but its credentials. I know you're throwing away the Melbourne stuff, but Sprite was flying when Super 2 got close to it.
It's gone missing as well?
Yeah, it's gone missing, but it was flying at the time. So that's fine.
All right, so you sacking Super 2 because that was her chance.
Yep.
Starcrossed, can he recover from his poor parade?
Yeah, he can. He can. He needs.
What does he need? He needs 1,200, doesn't he?
He needs 3 weeks off, go up in distance, and get some food into him.
I'm really against all those horses in that race.
The surprising bit of the race was Ty not being able to get OSL
Lion Couchon.
when Legerity just held him out easily. I think if Lion Couchon had got OSL, he would have been the first to get past Super 2 and might have even been, he would have definitely been in the placings. I'm surprised he was 3 deep the way he was. No, I was more surprised Legerity put him there more than...
Well, he's a 3-year-old, a much younger horse with blinkers on that was in an early stage of his preparation and pushed up there and
we never give much credit to that Hawk stable. Honestly, they must be the best salesman that ever walked the planet. Every horse they got, you look down the book, it's 800,000, 1.2 million, 1.6 million, 900,000, and they play basically the big lotto game. They have the owners go, well, pay 1.5 million. If it's a good colt, we'll get 40 million for it. Oh, it can't go. Don't worry. We'll send up to Gosford to win a maiden and get rid of it. That must be
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you ever been to a sale and paid 50,000 for anything in the last 10 years? They're just marvels.
Well, I think the other thing is John Hawkes was clearly a master trainer, but I mean, what input he's got in this current stable, I've got no idea.
I'd say the boys train the horses.
But, we also forget that John Hawkes was a master trainer when I was in nappies.
Every time I go to any big sales, and I go there basically to see if I can get anyone a coffee, and they might sling me $20, he's the first bloke in the door with all the notes, the old man.
Pettingham.
Yeah, he's always there. He's always at the sales. You don't see him at the truck, always at the sales. Fucking 850,000 a year, 3.6 million, who gives a fuck? How do they get the clients? They're the best. They're fucking marvels.
Well, they have had some success with getting the stallion, haven't they?
Well, I suppose that's the key to it. You get the stallion, you turn your 1.2 million into 30 million. They play high stakes poker with racehorses.
But the other thing is that they came from the Darley setup. Who was the under trainer at Darley at the time?
Yeah.
Wilco man.
Yeah.
P. Snowden. We've seen what P. Snowden can do, so any joint that got P. Snowden in it is going to be propped up like you wouldn't believe.
He's the best.
P. Snowden?
Yeah, he is the best.
His horses look so
That's
good.
right. I mean, I know the young fellas were all excited about Cummings taking over, and I think he has a lot of promise, but they've all got to realise that P. Snowden was the trainer there a little while ago.
I'll take Evans. There's no Jay Cummings there in 12 months.
Here we go.
Oh, I think they will. I think he will be there.
I'd take Evans, he'll still be there. Why are you saying that?
Because I heard...
You call it rumour already.
I heard he's moved straight in, and the first thing he's done is change the feed.
Right. Well, I presume that's a sticky bone of his, like something that...
You don't understand.
I hope there's some iron in the feed, because, Jesus, some of their horses are soft. Mark and I were talking about the other day, they loom up like they're going to win easy, and then they just give up.
The feed.
Well, hopefully that...
If you change the feed and you don't get the results,
then
it is your fault.
Yeah.
And then Henry comes along with the big dagger.
Not that James is not going to. He's going to give him every opportunity. Like Henry,
The first thing I've heard,
Henry knows
I've heard he's changed the feed. If he's changed the feed, he will not last 12 months. You've heard
Unless the feed works.
Been watching the horses. Don't just stick to the tried and true to the old feed. You get your Lonro, you get your octagonal, the boxer. You don't come in and make that. That's a big change, you guys. Feed's the most important thing in training.
Is that the tiger cat, Mark?
Oh, there's that tiger cat. Quick, get an egg gun.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a leopard.
Yeah,
it's a leopard cat.
Yeah.
No wonder. Bengal.
You got an egg gun?
It's looking to hunt. Yeah.
I'd shoot that so quick. Oh, it'd make me so happy.
Anyway, happy too.
That's my tip. Under 12 months, if he's changed the feed, if that racecourse room is true. You can't change you can't make that big a change at that establishment. Heard it first on Racing Rant. You'll never hear it anywhere else unless Richie gets back behind the mic. Well, they've changed the fucking feed here. Can you believe it? We need that, don't we? I used to find it so annoying. Now we've got the girls going, oh, number 6 here because it's got the pink colours. And I love pink. Oh, fuck. Where's my ear gun for? Oh, I can't take it much longer. Oh. How's everything going? Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's -5 at Colbert.
Do you watch? See, when I'm watching the country racing, I have it on mute.
It's like Gary Harley. He'll tip every single favourite. You can't do this to punters.
But you know what happens to Gary as well? If in the morning he tips a favourite and then the market changes, he changes.
I give him his numbers from the mounting yard before the horses are in the thing.
Isn't his system to tip the favourite? So if the favourite changes, he needs to change his tip.
Well, yes, that's logical.
Don't fucking tip. Don't treat us like that bad of mugs. Get him a fucking pie. He used to be the best pie. Even that pie eating competition set on 30 years in a row.
Spending to win, Glenn. He's now had 2 runs back.
Yeah, he's ready to go next time, guys.
But it was suggested to me by a very good alternative mounting yard man that he lacks a bit of oomph in his confirmation. Like he's...
Well, I don't look for oomph. I don't even know what that means.
He's just not very big and strong.
I still don't know what that means. Still lots more horses that are rockets. The things I follow with mounting yard mail, which are my own thoughts on property, and people get my tips, they're happy with them, man. People say, oh, it's a bit this, a bit that. I don't know, what does oomph mean?
Well, that was my word, but he was basically saying it's not very big and strong. So I'm thinking, yeah, well, okay, so normally sprinters would be bigger, bulkier, stronger, stayers would be leaner and smaller.
Well, you're on the right track there.
Well, whatever, spending to wins next start.
I'd agree with that. It'd be third up. I don't think it's coming off a PR.
No. It might surprise me. Why is that not a PR?
You know what told you late that Spending the Win was going to be? Is that Aquatic was 460. Because Aquatic can't be 460 in that race. And if the opponent's going to go, we got to get away from this, it must be that. Well, they're wrong here, but that won't win.
Aquatic has been up for months and months and months and months and months.
Up and down distance.
And yet, how did it look, Glenn?
Like it always does.
No, it didn't look like it was tired, did it?
No, but I don't know how a horse looks tired. That's another thing. People go, oh, it looks tired. I go, well, what are you fucking looking at? Has it got a little doona?
No, it paraded well. It was paraded well, didn't it? Yeah. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? That horse,
it's just on the churn mill.
That horse resumed at the beginning of January.
Yeah, it's on the churn mill. You go in the stables, you race, you go home, you have a couple of days off, you get some feed in there, you drink well, you either eat your feed or don't eat your feed, and that determines how your condition goes, whether you're lighting off. Thursday you have a go, next Tuesday you have a go, another hard week Tuesday, soft to go up Thursday, you race every fortnight in a perfect world.
And it's a Waller horse as well.
So it's on the treadmill.
Okay, isn't this form absolute rubbish? Katachak just tracked Spending to Win and threatened it all the way down.
Something went wrong with Spending to Win between about the 400 and the 200. It looked like it lost its way or something like that.
It's got the wobble.
Yeah, it's got the wobble.
Only got one win first up at Canterbury, 1100.
Okay, all right, I know what you're saying, mate. You're saying this is all rubbish, but this is what we're going to deal with this time of year.
Yes and no. There'll be new horses appearing very soon.
Okay, well, let's keep an eye on all of those theories, because we've got a million theories here at RacingRant, which is all a pack of idiots.
Right, Sound Proposition looks a decent horse. I know that she managed to get in there. But in the stoush with Karen, that was a bit dangerous because whilst she'd ridden it perfectly, presented the horse, you still don't want to be backing Rachel King v Karen McAvoy down the straight like that.
No.
And that's why the margin was as close as it was.
Yeah.
I got a bit of an opinion on that horse. Yeah.
We've got a horse parade absolutely sensational there, and I put it in my tips that man of his word, and there's Kathy out the back and swinging it. Pulling wide, yeah.
She was in a different race.
Yeah. It's the best run in the race, and it's just Kath. You just like Kath, like honestly.
Yeah, but those connections you just can never ever back, can you?
You're Bruce Hill.
Bruce Hill is like a marginal Queensland trainer.
And
I don't know why he brings these horses down.
If someone was talking about Kath's riding performance, I say one word. I just say insensata.
Yeah.
Beaten every start with Kath. A borderline group horse.
Group horse.
Yeah. Group horse. Like group horse. Calf off, that was a group horse.
But, I know you're upset about the ride, but that calf off next start, you're going to get a price about it. It was a bit of a hidden run.
I'm discussing myself putting hard-earned on Kath.
He's making himself for
well, I tell everybody off, Kath.
He knew better.
And she's a lovely girl, and she's a strong athlete. I just think it's I don't know.
This show's not here to say people are lovely.
I know it's not, but I don't want to like shit pot her because she's had some success and she is a nice enough girl. But like when you back her, she doesn't seem to win. And when she goes back to now and that, she can get them home.
But she's not. She's tough, sort of in those bush areas as well, because a lot of the time you don't want to back Kath on even money chances, and she is on them sometimes. So.
Good old Kath.
Yeah. Let's talk about the stats horse, Boss Lane. 7 starts at 1100, 001. 6 starts Randwick 1100, 001.
And we backed it.
Glen Pollock, Mounting Yard Mail, top pick. Up here goes, son. What
it says is, look at who was in the
month. We spoke about what it said on the Friday preview show. You came to me and you said, what are you saying? I said, well, highly geared's not 6-year-old mare, it's not an animal. That's a good idea, looks completely fucking gone. Felines doesn't get past 1100, and Relatives is a pen job. I said, there's 4 out of the 7 that can't win.
Petrosian's a win.
So I said, you got Boss Lane, Kadiro, and Boss Lane. No, I didn't even say fucking Petrosian, even though...
Boss Lane, Kadiro.
Boss Lane, Kadiro. I said, there's 2 runners here because 5 can't win. It was easy doing a form of that race. I can't work out why it was the roughie in the race, why I secured $10, why I paid $9.40 on the I can't work out the market. All I can tell you is why the other horses couldn't win. I suppose it was a
by the way, big raps to Adkins there too for being
aggressive.
So aggressive. Yeah, that was lovely because I've not seen that much aggression.
It's a $100,000 race.
No, but you know, like your Bowmans and that seem like they treated with kid gloves.
Who, the horse?
No, like Adkins owning Hugh Bowman. I just love to see it. Because a lot of the times the apprentices are intimidated by the senior guys. He wasn't.
He went up to Felines and Felines go, presented to win, and then all of a sudden there's 80 more metres to go and she goes, I can't get past 1,000. So she just ran right up to her phone.
But she copped a couple of bumps off him too.
Your Adkins didn't give her any favours.
Yeah,
I think that's the important point.
Well, so he should be able to ride like that. If apprentices can't ride like that, they shouldn't be riding on Saturdays.
That's correct as well, but it's still good to see.
Yeah, well, it's a beauty to see.
And we will never see any of those horses ever again. That's like that team can't go anywhere.
The only thing you said about Petrosian is Perry flying.
Yeah, Petrosian's racing well. You said PR at Warwick Farm. I thought, well, like he's come back to town, he's taken it up. That to me doesn't feel like a PR. I know, controlled the pace well.
Yeah, you might be right because he did get attacked at the 100. They were all going to get him, and then he kicked and fought back in that photo, which he didn't look like he got. Anyway.
But then again, I often think that the horses in the first 2 don't have to control their head in any way because they don't have a bum in front of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you often see a horse either. Particularly in the middle of horses, and you see them and their head is like, they're a bit awkward because there's a bum in front of them.
Makes sense.
And a lot of jockeys
let's move on to Kings of Leo. Sydney, a lot of jockeys leading race course.
Pace changes easily because they're scrubbing when they're getting too close in front or they're necking them and losing margin. It's
Let's get Richie back to call the races. I'll take that. Big Rich calling the races, and we'll have Sheen doing Richie's job. Okay. And we'll have Kings of Leo, or what's he called? The sticky beak man. We'll have him, I don't know, we'll get him...
He can do the mounting yard.
He can get the lattes or something.
Kings of Leo, you just can't ignore a horse that just is flying.
Hang on, it's beaten last witnessed by Wart. Bolero King was put out of play, who knows how, but he was.
It was a tragic race.
I know it's a tragic race, but I just see the smarties unloading.
And the worst thing about it is that Gunn has got a $14 chance home to get the lead back, and then Bowman gets this to get his win back.
It's sickening.
Seems very unfair.
It is sickening. He's a half behind this kid. That there's been a concerted effort for this kid to lose the premiership and for Huey to hold all the aces, even down to, I don't know if you blokes saw it, did you see the photo before race 1 of the big premiership? They had it up there, premiership fight. It was like great, and they had Hugh Bowman on winks like this in the blue and white with the little thing he does.
Yes.
Right? And then next to him, they had Huey Bowman on Kim Moore's colours in the pink.
Oh, you mean Abdullah?
What did I say?
Huey Bowman.
Yeah. Brendan Abdullah in Kim Moore's colours, in pink colours, all. No, like the pink, like the lilac pink and the lycra. And he had his chin down like this, and his little lips together, and he looked like a little beaten preschooler. And it was just Huey, fucking wasn't gun. It looked like toy pistol. Like, it was just unbelievable. I'm telling you, something's going on to get this Bowman home, and it's not needed. The best man should win, and the best man in this riding season has been Brent Novella.
Yeah, the rides on track
hope he
were
gets
very
home.
strange. I loved the fact that he looked like he was back when he got that horse to win, that Argentine.
Don't we all want Brent to win this premiership? Here's a nice...
We want him to win.
Well, it seems like he gets the yips when he's in front. So he was
really?
half behind and then rode like a gun.
Yeah, he got it home to beat Huey. That's the best ride of all.
That was when he was half behind.
After Argent Door.
So what's it?
No, but what I'm saying is, you know how he's ridden poorly as far as I'm concerned when he was considerable leader in the jockey.
Huey throws Kings of Leon over the line. Talking about throwing over the line, young Blake Shin at Gosford got thrown over the line there with in that last race when the Portelli then got up to beat Blake. And then on Saturday we start off Assimilate over the top of Dracarys, and then later on today Pelothronius over the top of Invincible Knight, Anglin over the top of Shin. Anglin's dead set, he's given it to Shin, I know.
Isn't he? Pelothronius appeared to give away his position. Invincible Knight went straight past him while Pelothronius was waiting to go.
Yep.
What do we make of that?
Ridden perfectly Invincible Knight, ridden perfectly Pelothronius. Just the better horse won.
I reckon Pelothronius is a good horse. It's better than
a winner.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
And
what a price.
Awesome, $7.50.
You know, like that was such a false favourite, Stain.
Right, well, so the Stewards report
Again.
said Stain did not get a run until the 50-metre mark.
Yeah, well, got beat.
No, that's irrelevant. That's overstating the.
3-1 favourite, Mr. Place. We all gave it none. We tipped on the previous show. What's it doing in the market, this price? You guys were too busy tipping the scratch, and I told you to be scratched.
You know, the thing is, we were loving it because there was another scratching and it did get a run. And Mark goes, it's got a run, and we're looking at back at it, okay?
I had some marl. It was always going to be scratched. I didn't want to get the old Glen Pollock whispers.
Geez, they're gold.
They're gold. They're fucking gold.
Where are we taking this form from Saturday, Glenn? It was supposedly run on a good track. I question that.
Me too.
I suppose we'll have a Randwick race meeting in a fortnight's time here.
This will be the leader, and we can look at it, not trust it that much. I mean, Assimilate's going to be a nice horse. Sun Crows will win another country race. Mims has got us, like, Clippers I thought overachieved and went really, really well. And I expect Spending to win off that type of run. Third up.
Jackaroos is my horse to follow.
Sound Proposition will win. Pelothronius will keep winning. Kings of Leon will get beat. And Boss Lane and those, they'll just go round and round the mulch.
Look, finally we had a Randwick truck that played reasonably well as well. So maybe they just should leave it at the 10-metre rail or something.
Play better than...
Play well.
Yeah.
Play well. That's the end of part one for Racing Rant for our preview Saturday.